Battle Through the Heavens Chapter 179, Yao Lao Taking Action. Chapter 179, Yao Lao Taking Action. Within the environment of the permeating icy fog, it was as though one had walked into a space filled with cold air. The surrounding white fog was widespread and one could not see an end to it. In the midst of the white fog, the old man raised his head as he watched the young man in midair with an astonished face. A moment later, his expression gradually turned grave as he growled in a low voice, boy, what is this secret technique, It was not at all strange that the old man would feel so shocked. Although on this T.A.G continent, there was no shortage of some secret techniques that could swiftly raise Oni trademark's strength, the rank of these secret techniques were at least of the D rank. On this T.A.G continent, the people, or forces that could take out such a secret technique were only a few ultimate forces or extremely strong people that could be counted with Oni trademark's fingers. In the eyes of these ultimately strong forces or people, the strong people in the Jiama Empire were undoubtedly just like fireflies who were competing with the bright moon on their brightness. At an trademark T tell me this brat originates from one of those forces. A shocking thought flashed across the old Mana trademark's heart. Under the shock of the frightening and aloof strength of those forces, he found it difficult to keep his heart calm. No way. Although this brat has many different unique treasures on him, the Chi method that he trained with seemed to be weaker than Xian class. This definitely doesn't a trademark T look like the style of those forces. The old man was a little shocked in his heart, but a moment later, he began to slowly suppress this feeling as he comforted himself. The old man gradually recovered his calm. His expression was grave as his dry pair of hands grasped each other. The surrounding icy, cold fog swiftly congelated and finally formed a snow-white ice lance in between his hands. Despite having used his T.A.G to solidify into an ice lance, the old man still felt insecure. He used one hand to quickly form a seal before softly calling out, ice spirit armor, Following his call, the surrounding permeating icy fog immediately formed into a thick ice vest with a twinkling ice-cold luster. The weapon on the old Mana trademark's hand and the ice armor on his body were entirely formed from the coagulation of his T.A.G. At the very least, it required the strength of a Doling in order to barely accomplish this. On the T.A.G continent, most people, upon reaching the T.A.G, would be able to emit T.A.G out of their body. For example, they could use their T.A.G to cover their weapons and greatly increase their offensive strength. When they reached the Doling level, they would be able to condense and form weapons and armors made completely of T.A.G, just like the old man just did. These kinds of weapons and protections were naturally something that an ordinary weapon or armor could not compare to. By being able to cause the old man to use his full strength and be serious, it could be seen just what kind of level Xiaoyan trademark's improved strength had risen to within the old Mana trademark's heart. Xiaoyan ignored the completely armed appearance of the old man below. In midair, the pressure that was emitted from within Xiaoyan trademark's body grew increasingly rich. At some point, he suddenly gave a long howl toward the sky. The long howl contained a turbulent T.A.G that blew the permeating fog under him and scattered nearly half of it. Seeing that Xiaoyan merely used a long howl to break the thick fog, the old Mana trademark's expression once again changed. He did not dare slight Xiaoyan. Waving the ice lance in his hand, an uncountable number of extremely sharp icicles swiftly formed in the air above his head. After which, they carried the sound of piercing wind as they shot towards Xiaoyan. In midair, the howling gradually stopped. Xiaoyan flapped his pair of wings and his body was like a large rock as it quickly swooped down. He indifferently eyed the icicles that were headed for him from all directions before facing his palms at each other and gently clapping them together. Following the clap, a shapeless energy was scattered from his hands in a lightning-like manner. After which, the icicles that were coming at him from all directions emitted a cracking sound, presenting a spectacular sight as they turned into cold white powder in midair. These is spiritual strength, Seeing his fast-spinning icicles being turned into powder without the slightest foreboding, the white-haired old man stilled slightly before crying out involuntarily. Ignoring the shock of the old man, Xiao Yan flapped his wings and directly flashed toward the space above the old man. His hands tightly gripped the heavy Xian ruler and suddenly hacked downwards. The waving of the heavy Xian sword this time around almost completely sheared the air into two. The space where the heavy ruler passed was actually left with a faint black scar. Although the attack this time around did not have the forceful sound it had before, the old Monteiro trademark's face became much more serious when the heavy ruler was swung. His heart clearly knew that despite this attack being quiet, the damaging ability that it possessed was something that the earlier attack could not compare to. Carefully taking a step back, the old man tightened his fist. Instantly, the ice lance shot out while carrying a bone-chilling cold force. Seeing that the old man actually chose to take the attack head-on, a faint mocking glint flashed across Xiao Yanayuro trademark's eyes. The heavy ruler suddenly sped up before finally clashing with the ice lance attack. As the heavy ruler and the ice lance knocked against each other, a ferocious energy ripple was immediately scattered from the point of contact and shook the ground of the room until numerous spider web-like crack lines appeared. A break. Just as the contact occurred, the ice lance was compressed into a bow-like shape. When Xiao Yan coldly shouted, the ice lance suddenly broke with a cracking sound and ice shavings shot out in all directions. For the old Monteiro trademark's weapon to be easily broken by the opponent in just one round, the old Monteiro trademark's expression quickly turned ugly. He did not expect that the young man would change into an entirely different person in just a few short minutes. The strength he displayed currently was entirely incomparable to what he displayed before. If Xiao Yan was just a doshi before, the current him had at least reached the Dowang level. This horrifying gap caused the old man to be a little aghast in his heart. TL, doshi to doshi doling Dowang. What exactly did this guy do? A thought swiftly flashed through his heart. The old man tipped his toe and his figure hurriedly retreated. As he retreated, his hands swiftly moved about. Following which, 7 flickering cold ice mirrors were quickly coagulated and formed, completely blocking the path that Xiao Yan had to use while chasing him. Before the old man could relax after fixing up the 7 ice mirrors, he heard repeated clear sounds. Raising his eyes, he was shocked to discover that Xiao Yan, who was carrying the heavy ruler in his hand, swerved about recklessly as he charged forward. The ice mirrors along the way were burnt into nothingness by the purple-colored flame on his body before they could even make contact. Eatum brat, I don't trademark T believe that after having lived in isolation for over 20 years, I would actually have no strength to retaliate against a young brat like you. Being repeatedly and swiftly attacked by Xiao Yan, the old man was gradually becoming angry. His eyebrows shot up as his feet slammed on the ground. The ice dochi chilled the surrounding few meters of ground so much that a thick layer of ice was formed. Exuan ice-killing vortex, The old Monteiro trademark's hands swiftly formed seals in front of him before his throat suddenly let out a low roar. Instantly, numerous crescent-shaped blades appeared and rotated beside him. The ice blades continued to increase in numbers. At the end, they totally covered the old Monteiro trademark's body within them. Then, the ice blades connected with one another, forming a small spiral storm that was completely formed from the integration of ice blades. From within the storm, a low shout was emitted. The ice blade storm suddenly spun towards Xiao Yan with the intention to kill. Along the way, the ground of the room was devastated with many ditches appearing. Some of the water crystal counters even exploded when the ice blades slashed past. The fragments of crystals that appeared were as smooth as mirrors. With cold eyes, Xiao Yan watched the old man who was charging at him using that ferocious attack. His footsteps unexpectedly came to a sudden stop while the purple-colored flame and the ferocious force that was shrouding his body were completely withdrawn into his body. The current Xiao Yan did not have any defenses on his body. Even the heavy Xian ruler was abandoned and stuck at his side. Brat, you are seeking death. Seeing Xiao Yan trademark S action, the somewhat angry cry of the old man was emitted from within the ice blade vortex. Clearly, the old man was extremely angry at this action of Xiao Yan trademark S, which implied that he was looking down on his opponent. Originally, with the old Mana trademark S position, it was somewhat inappropriate for him to strike someone of a younger generation. He had now used all of his strength, but under these circumstances, his opponent actually chose to give up on defense. This undoubtedly gave a blow to the old Mana trademark S pride as someone strong. Ignoring the anger of the old man, Xiao Yan felt the oppressive feeling that was emitted from the space in front of him. He gently sighed as he slowly extended his hand. After which, it gently shook and a thick white flame suddenly soared. After the thick white flame appeared, Xiao Yan trademark S feet suddenly stomped on the ground. Following the sound of an explosion, his body became like an arrow released from a bow, turning into a trail of light as he shot toward that small-scale ice blade storm that was spinning toward him in a lightning-like manner. Izanki, you seek death, don't trademark T blame me, Seeing Xiao Yan, who actually decided to meet his attack head-on, the old man within the storm coldly yelled. Although his current strength was much weaker than before, there were not many people who would choose to meet his attack directly when he displayed this high Xian level mysterious ice-killing vortex trademark. Xiao Yan trademark S current actions had undoubtedly made the old man feel that the former was seeking death. Ignoring the angry cry, Xiao Yan directly rushed into the storm. His arm was almost entirely covered by the thick white flame as his arm was suddenly inserted into the storm. When his arm was inserted into the storm, a terrifying energy ripple suddenly scattered within the interior of the room and lifted the floor up to a height of nearly half a meter. Ikacha Xiao Yan maintained his posture with his hand being inserted into the storm. A momentary standstill occurred before the ice wind storm, which was originally swiftly rotating, suddenly began to slow. Under the cracking sound, the ice wind storm was actually completely frozen into a huge snow-white ice pillar. Indifferently eyeing the ice pillar in front of him, Xiao Yan slowly pulled his hand out from within and gently tapped on the ice pillar with his finger. Bang! With a muffled sound, the ice pillar suddenly burst forcefully and turned into icy cold white powder that was sprinkled from midair onto the ground. The bursting of the ice pillar revealed the old man inside, who was covered by a faint layer of thin ice. Xiao Yan trademark S eyes squinted as he watched that old man. A moment later, he once again opened them. At the moment, the indifference and life experience within those dark black eyes had completely disappeared. Replacing it was the vigor that a young man ought to have. Yelled, sir, you have lost. Trademark, I'm sorry, but this thing belongs to me. Clapping his hand, Xiao Yan smiled at the old man as he spoke.